Hey, hey, okay, hey. Hey, yo, what up, everybody? Welcome back to the Scotty Show today. I was about to say tonight, but it's today, bro. So I'm not used to doing these during the day sometimes, but today we got Juplex in the building. What's good?
What's up?
How you doing? Like, you just woke up. You said we were just talking. You said you just woke up and shit.
Yeah.
How's life?
Um, Honestly, it's crazy. I feel like I'm busy all the time. I never know what's going on because I'm constantly doing stuff. I'm just like, I'll be out of it. I'll be just going and going and going,
I
but
feel you.
it's lit, yeah.
Hell yeah. For the people that don't know who Juplex is, how would you describe Juplex?
Uh, I'm some girl on the internet who makes a fuck ton of music, and I'm from the South, so that's me in a little nutshell.
Hell yeah. When I like hear like your music, honestly, it just like it sounds like where do you get like your inspiration from? Like who would you say like you was listening to? Like you have like that 3 6 6 6 mafia like swag like I fuck with it like and it goes crazy like that A ball MJG like type shit like that's like that real like South shit and like the South is like really like known for like creating a lot of these cultures that we even see on the West Coast and stuff. Like really big influences like on the West. From things like I've heard, from like Snoop Dogg and all them like back in the day, they got a lot of their swag and shit from the South. Like the way they was like doing like their words and shit. Yeah, you have like that Long Beach, like culture and stuff. But a lot of people from the South, like just even like learning about like the West Coast, you learn that a lot of people move from the South to the West Coast and that's how a lot of people like became like residents there and shit. Because they was giving a lot of houses out back in the day. But yeah, like the South is very influential.
Yeah, I'm trying to put on for the third coast because I feel like you always hear the East Coast, you always hear the West Coast, but sometimes the South, I feel like it needs to be louder in the conversation. I
Yeah.
grew up listening to like so much Southern rap and like you said, 3 6 and Bone Thugs even.
Bone
Just
Thugs, yeah,
like
yeah. Midwest,
yeah,
Midwest,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and then so many of the Texas legends like there's so much music that's come out of Texas, and I grew up listening to like all kinds of different shit. But of course, like Paul Wall, like Chamillionaire,
Paul,
Zero,
oh, Chameleon there. Oh
yeah,
my God, hell yeah,
yeah. Well,
bro. Chameleon,
a lot of stuff has come out of like
yeah.
Texas and Houston. So I just grew up listening to so much of that, and then like totally like random pop shit like Nelly Furtado or the Black Eyed Peas. It all
Oh,
just
Nelly
kind of
Furtado,
comes
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, it all just kind of comes together. And like Gwen Stefani, they all kind of operate like really parallel to hip hop and all that. So it just kind of all that mixed together in my ears, and then here I am making whatever it is I make. I don't know.
Yeah. So like, what was like your introduction? So like, you already have like you're saying like millionaire and shit like that. Like, I feel like were you a TV kid growing up? Like, did you like watch like MTV and shit like that, like music videos and stuff on the television?
Oh, for sure. And like I was always watching like Pimp My Ride and like
Yeah.
the crib
Okay.
shit and all
Okay.
that.
Yeah. 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 So like
Yeah,
we
for
I
sure.
feel like yeah we kind of like came from like that same like culture of like watching music videos on TV like oh yo this is the top 10 like
Yeah,
like back when it was like I would say more of like in like its prime and like on its way out though because we were getting
yeah,
like all these other things like YouTube and shit was like coming and stuff like that so like we got like it's like prime like years of it so like that's crazy like you're like the first person that like I can have like this conversation with like with talking about like the music videos and shit on like 106 and Park and shit like that and like that's like that was like an amazing like time but
yeah.
what was like your first like introduction to like just music in general? It don't even have to be rap, like any type of music.
Well, I mean, honestly, I was like 4 years old. My mom was playing rap music, and I was standing on the bed in my diaper giving fake performances. And it was like, it would be like a lot of like screwed and chopped stuff that I'd be like a little baby sitting there lip
Mm-hmm.
syncing to. It would be Gwen Stefani. It would be like Eminem. I grew up being really into Eminem too, of
Eminem
course.
was
But
fire.
yeah, and it's like right when I was like born and like getting old enough to like talk and actually
Mm-hmm.
listen to music is right when he was like blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you couldn't escape him. He was like,
Yeah.
he was like becoming like the
He was
ones
the
who
biggest.
watched
He
for
was
real.
one of the biggest artists. Yeah, like it was. It's
Yeah.
like every artist like has like that time. Like 50 Cent. 50 Cent had like he even had his own video game, shoes,
Yeah.
all that stuff. Like
Man, that
everybody.
video game was crazy. That
Yeah,
shit was
yeah.
good as fuck.
Yeah,
Man.
I was the biggest 50 Cent fan back in the like back then. Like I thought he was one of the best rappers like around the time. Like I thought he was like one of the best rappers alive. I
And
was like, yeah,
and he's
he's
like
fire.
Yeah, and he's like one of the first people to do that sort of thing that you see people like 6ix9ine try to recreate now, which is like
Mm-hmm.
go after people and like
Mm-hmm.
use that smart and try to like get your name out there by being like, all right, fuck you. And like he was the
Yeah,
first to do that. So he kind of
yeah.
like, or the first that I know of at least, to really do that and achieve like mainstream levels of success with that. I mean, hip hop has always been about
Beefing and stuff like that, and
yeah,
and
like, yeah,
and like being just competitive and stuff like that, and like
yeah,
outwitting. Like it's more of like when it comes like that kind of stuff, it's like mental warfare, and it also can end up being physical warfare as well. But like a lot of it is
yeah.
mental. That's how 50 Cent would fuck with you. Like he would just like when he was messing with Fat Joe and sent a picture in the video of Fat. But this is out of pocket though. He went to his mom's like workplace and took a picture of her, and sent it to him. That was crazy.
Yeah, I'm not saying
That
the
is
stuff
crazy.
that 50 was doing was
That was
like
crazy.
not disrespectful,
That's
but
real
I mean,
mental
he still,
warfare.
yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely
Yeah.
he was playing some
That was
next level stuff with that. Yeah.
yeah. So then you went from Eminem and all that stuff. All right, now we have like the underground, scene. Like you got like Space Ghost Perp, Raider Clan, and all them. Chris Travis and Xavier Wolf, Sesh Hollow Water Boys and stuff like that. We got the Suicide Boys, even Fat Nick and Puya. Like they were like even like I would say Puya still like he can still do shows and shit like that, still popping. Fat Nick still doing this thing too. And like, how did you also like Tyler the Creator, Earl, and all them, Our Future and stuff like that? What were you listening to around like those times?
Honestly, my first like foray into like underground stuff was probably like around the time like Tyler and like Mac Miller were getting steam on YouTube and stuff. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
part of the YouTube generation. That's the underground that I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
following is like the YouTube hustling.
yeah, yeah.
But as far as like the next gen of underground, like the 2015 kind of SoundCloud era,
Mm-hmm.
I still feel like I missed out on a good bit of that because I was seeing the videos, but I wasn't tapped in and like feeling the culture
Mm.
the way that I wish I would have now that it's like over.
Mm-hmm.
Like I found Bones and I was really into what he was doing
Bones
like around
Fire.
like that 2015 kind of era and I'd seen a couple Space Ghost Perp videos. I'd seen in a couple of years before that I was seeing some of the Little B stuff too, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I missed out on a lot of that cuz I really didn't start like actually getting into like that whole like era of underground music until it was like Little Peep had already released like Hellboy
Yeah, yeah,
and until X was already like blowing up. Like I tapped in then and I was like this shit is amazing. Like
yeah.
I'm loving the creativity that's happening and it's like and music was starting to get stale on the mainstream so it's like it was like really easy
Mm-hmm.
to want to cling to them underground artists as they were like kind of blowing up. But
Mm-hmm.
that's really as soon as I can say that I was like really tapped in.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm still like I'm heavily influenced by like the grinds of like Lil Peep and and honestly Bones too, because the visuals and stuff like that. It's
yeah.
just like it's raw, it's real. Like that shit is like I don't know.
No, like Lil Peep made some of the best music like in the underground. Like, and he came from New York. People don't even like they connect him to like that West, like the California underground scene, like when it was like blowing up. But he's from New
Yeah.
York. Like he's a New York kid. Like doing like he went to Colorado and then California. Like it's crazy. Like his storyline is insane. And then like the music that he was making, like nobody was making like that kind of music. Like how do you feel? How did you feel about like his new releases and stuff like that? Like how did you compare it to like his older stuff? I know people are like, oh well, like he had this is what he had on his laptop and stuff like that. But like how did you feel about like the edits and like the extra stuff that was added on to some of the music?
Like
That
the posthumous stuff.
mm-hmm.
I just my thing is that's just like a very touchy subject in general. Like I feel like a big part of what makes me connect with artists is watching them work out their vision.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's hard to like tap in with stuff that's happened after they're gone because you don't know if you're consuming it the way that they wanted you to because you don't know if they wanted those songs to see the light of day. I
Mm-hmm.
really like the way like Mac Miller's estate and family has been handling his stuff because they're like they're very much trying to follow his vision and stuff. But I mean, I don't know. With the Peep stuff, it's like on one hand, I'm glad to be seeing more stuff because I just, I really do feel like we lost somebody very cool way too early. So of course you're gonna want to see,
I thought
but
he was
it's
gonna
just
be the
it's
biggest.
hard.
I thought he was gonna be one of the biggest artists that we've ever seen if he was to live right now. I thought he was gonna be that was like my pretty much like my take on it. I was like, yo, like he was already touring America, Europe, just off of his name, which
Yeah.
is crazy. Like he didn't even really. I don't even think that he went on like tour under anybody else. Unless he opened up for somebody, but I think he was pretty much just touring off the Goth Boy clique in his name. How do you feel about Goth Boy clique when Goth Boy clique, was like a thing back then?
I can't speak on any of that because just with any underground stuff, there's just so much that I can't possibly know, and I don't know. I don't really like to the stuff that doesn't involve me. I don't really like to like. I just focus on like individuals and like because it's just I don't know. You know how that stuff goes. The
Yeah,
underground is
yeah,
just you never know.
yeah.
But I feel like even if you don't like the music Little Peep and any of his peers were making, you cannot like not acknowledge the fact that
The
the
impact,
style, yeah, the
the
style,
impact.
it's like you get
Yeah,
people now
yeah,
who are
you can't
still
deny
trying to
the impact.
emulate that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
people are still trying to emulate.
But
Like
and
that's
that's gonna last forever. Like as soon, and this is like one of the things that I feel like damaged the underground and damaged music in general. After Peep and X and Juice died, they kept on trying to recreate these artists, like these music labels. Like
especially yeah, in the
they keep
industry.
on
They were
trying
trying
to
to
they keep on trying to recreate like these because you can't, those things are only organically made. You can't manufacture
yeah.
that. You can't just be like, oh, we have like the like now we have like the formula, like we have like a new formula to like create like a rapper, like and that's what
Yeah.
damaged the underground. People trying to overly like openly copy it, and mainstream, like record companies just trying to manufacture an artist to replicate like that image. You can't replicate it. It's impossible.
Yeah, the whole point of it was that it was so fresh and new and they were so uniquely themselves. So you try to emulate that, it lacks the authenticity that made it connect, for sure.
And it just waters down like the underground. But I feel like now we're in like like a space now in the underground, like where things are looking a little bit more fresh and new. And I'm liking like the live shows. I like seeing like live shows. I like seeing just like the people like there. I like just seeing like that underground like look. Like how do you feel like the underground right now? I feel like it's like
We got different perspectives. I feel
yeah.
like it's oversaturated and a lot of people are trying to pretend to be something they're not. I think there's a lot of amazing artists who are getting drowned out by people who are just moving in a certain way to get ahead and it's just like I miss some of the older eras where not everybody was trying to get on without having their heart in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now it feels like there's a lot of my cat's climbing the wall. Anyways, it feels like there's a lot of people trying to like be inauthentic now.
Yeah,
Everybody's
yeah.
so caught up and trying to get a little bit of attention and everybody's like addicted to social media. I feel like the pandemic has really altered our brains and I feel like we're in the middle of a big shift and I'm just ready for things to look a little different cuz
Yeah.
it feels like a lot of it feels very jumbled to me. I want to see it be more like I miss maybe I'm just not tapped in and I will like reserve the right to be corrected about this. Maybe I'm just not seeing everything because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean I get distracted, but
Yeah, like
I want to see the culture. I want to feel like
and
the
that's like
realness.
and that's like even though I do agree like there is oversaturation, but like you said, like there's like a big shift coming. The shift that I see that's coming, like I'm like, okay, this is looking, that's why I'm saying it's looking good. But to some people they're like and then I'm like, okay, I understand why it looks like over like saturated. It's oversaturated, but there's a big shift coming. And
Oh
like,
God,
oh, you're good, you're good, you're good, you're good.
my cat knocked my camera over.
You're good.
Damn. But yeah,
But
no, I agree.
I think that we got groups like you got the people out on the East Coast doing like this shit, like Xavier So based and all them, and like they're all like working like together and shit. Christ Dillinger and Shed Theory and all them, and then I feel like which we have like the internet underground, like you like fuck with other people and shit like that. And like I feel like it's more of like it's becoming more of a culture where people are actually trying to work together now. Like where people are, because if you work together, the shows only become bigger because you can combine fan bases and stuff like that. You can there's just a lot of things that people could do for like the underground, like artist wise, like collabing and stuff like that. But genuinely collabing though, like not like on like some
That's the
cloud chasing.
thing. That's the thing. It does not feel genuine to me anymore. I feel like back in the day, you get people working because they fuck with each other. Nowadays, everything is done with intention. People are conscious of what worked for the previous generation, and they're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
So, and I'm jaded because I've had people work with me, and I thought we were on some cool shit. They get the song out, and then they start being themselves for real, and start talking shit on you, and start saying all this stuff. I'm jaded now, and I feel like maybe I have a distorted reality of the underground, but I do feel like it's a lot of people faking it. It's a lot of people trying to
You're gonna run
be
into
what,
those, yeah. You're gonna run in.
yeah.
You're gonna run into like
And
those kind of people. You gotta
I know the real is
mm-hmm,
out there.
mm-hmm.
I'm just concerned that it is very hard to tell the difference. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
hoping with time that becomes less true because there are people worth working with out there, but you really gotta like
No, like, and
try and be smart
I've
'cause
been in like those same like situations as well where I've dealt with people like that, and like the thing about it is I don't take anything personal. Like that's like one thing that I learned. I just like like you just doing what you're doing, but I'm gonna find people that like really like fuck with me and like that I
yeah,
really fuck with. Like I just don't take it personal and like I just keep it pushing and like people are just gonna do them and like them being like fake ain't gonna like make their name any better. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like at the end of the
yeah,
day, like it ain't gonna make like their name any better. So like it don't even. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't take it personal because people are gonna find out regardless. Like if you're a piece of
yeah,
shit, people are gonna find out regardless. Like whether you like it or not, because you're gonna piss off so many people that motherfuckers just gonna talk about it. So at the end of the day, I don't take it personal. Like people are gonna find out you're a piece of shit anyways.
for sure. And that's what keeps me going. It's like, all right, I see the game you're on.
Yeah.
With time, everyone else will see. I don't got to say nothing. But also, it sucks to see people waste their energy on people who aren't worth it.
Yeah.
Like it sucks to waste effort and energy on friendships that are
That's why you just
that
give
are
little bit by little bit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like even if
Not
like
me. I go all in. That's why I've
nah,
been fucking up.
he's
I meet people
I
and
just
we
give little
connect, and
bit
I'm
by
like,
little bit,
yeah,
like even if like somebody doesn't like reply to like a DM, I don't take it personal. I'm like, oh, this person's probably either busy
yeah,
or they just don't want to fucking talk to me. Like it's okay. And then like maybe I'll do like a follow up. Hey, just wanted to know if you like, cause I'll be like motherfuckers know I'm serious about like what I do. You know what I'm saying?
for
Like
sure.
that's why I'll
Yeah,
do like follow ups like with people. That's to let them know, yo, I'm like I'm reaching out. Like this is a like what I'm saying. That's why I don't take anything personal. Like even if like the person doesn't respond the first time or whatever or anything else, I'm just like yo, like this. I'm building a bridge. You know what I'm saying? And a bridge isn't built in one
definitely.
day. You know what I'm saying? Like it's piece by piece. Like,
No, for sure.
yeah,
You
yeah.
and with the social media shit, I definitely agree. It's good to not take that stuff personal
Mm-hmm.
because honestly, especially with what I'm saying with the pandemic and stuff, we are all like addicted to social media, and
Mm-hmm.
I've caught myself before kind of taking it personal if somebody doesn't get back to me. But it's like there are two different worlds we live in. We live
Mm-hmm.
in the real world, and then we got the internet. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's really easy to only see the internet shit and be like, "Oh, they don't fuck with me because
Mm-hmm.
this, that, whatever." But people get busy, and I'm a victim of
Motherfucker.
this too. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I be doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm one of the people who sometimes takes forever to reply because I get distracted. But it's
Mm-hmm.
it's oftentimes it's the people that I want to get back to that I be forgetting because it's just
Mm-hmm.
like this internet shit is it's weird. It's like a whole nother world, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the pandemic really and another thing, like yeah, I agree, the pandemic did kinda fuck up like the underground scene. It fractured it in a way to where I thought it wasn't gonna be recoverable, but from what I'm seeing, like, that's like future wise, I think that like it's gonna be moving into like a better place because even though yeah we do have some people that are children of nepotism that are in positions in the underground, I'm also seeing people that actually have that's rising from nothing, you know what I'm saying, and becoming bigger.
Definitely.
So I think there's gonna be a balance. Right now, like I said, like yeah, like it's kind of like weird. People are like, okay, what's going on, type shit. They don't really like see anything like positive really happening, but I think future in the future, I think the underground's going to be good. What are you like some of like the music that you first started making? What was some of like the your first songs you started making?
Honestly, when I first started making music, I was looking up type beats on YouTube and I was going like Mac Miller type beat, Doja Cat type beat. Because those are the people I was listening to the most at that particular time, which is like right in 2020, right when the pandemic hit. And yeah, so it was like all my early stuff is like lo-fi or like really melodic kind of like R&B type beats. That's where I started at. But then I started like kind of foraying into like the stuff I grew up on. I was making like really what I thought to be like Houston and Southern rap inspired stuff, and somebody hit me up and they're like, "Oh, you make funk?" And I'm like, "What? What's funk?" And then it was all over for there, and then I
Yeah,
found funk and that shit, and now I'm like, "Yeah, I make funk. Yeah, yeah, that's what I do.
hell
Yeah,
yeah.
But
What's your favorite song, like songs or song that you have made?
I this will never be a question I know how to answer because like I make so much music that usually my favorite song is whatever I made most recently.
I
It's
feel
like,
you on that. I
yeah,
feel you on. You gotta be a real big, and that's like the thing about being an artist. Like, and people think it's like corny to really like enjoy and love your music and just make music that you want to listen to. People think,
you gotta be your own
yeah,
biggest fan, or
yeah,
how is else anybody else gonna,
yeah.
wanna fuck with
People
you?
be thinking like that shit's corny. I'm like, bro, that's not corny, bro. Like, cause like why not make something that you like enjoy? Like seeing yourself or listening to it
Yeah,
by yourself. Like some people just
yeah.
like to make music, just for themselves. And
You should make the music you want to listen to, because that shit is always gonna be like that's gonna be the ticket. Make what you want to hear. Make what
yeah.
you don't feel like there's enough of. Like,
Yeah, and that's how music, that and like that's how your music grows and builds people that's how you build a fan base, because people might like your taste. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like what it's all about, like getting people
yeah,
invested in you. People don't understand that. Like that's why I feel like there's a lot of clones as well. People think like doing
they
someone
try to hop on
else's,
trends.
yeah,
Yeah,
people think that like doing someone else's style, oh that's easy, I can do that. It's really not that easy. It's not that easy to like, and that's why it's oversaturated, like and that's why only like the best people like rise to like the top when it comes to repeating like that style. Like now if everybody could make like make it with that style, there'd be a lot of millionaires, but it's not the case. It's just oversaturated. Like that's
for
just
sure.
the thing. um
Yeah.
but it's also harder to do your own thing as well. Like it's 10 times harder to do your own thing because you got to figure out what your sound is. Because if you're copying someone's style, you already know what the sound is. You know what I'm saying? You already know what the delivery is supposed to be.
Yeah, and you already know there's an audience for it.
Hmm.
If you come out the gate doing what you want to do, I mean, the first like year or two is going to be people being like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Because like you're not going to get cosigns until it's cool to like you. Like you're going to get a lot of no's before you get yes, especially if you're doing something new. People are going to not fuck with it until you find the people who are actually worth listening to about, what you're doing. There's
Yeah,
going to like people love to hate. It is so much easier to leave a hate comment than it is to show love for some reason, but you just gotta like authenticity is literally the move. Like that's just
I feel you.
it's just yeah.
Hell yeah. Favorite music video that you shot?
Of like that I've shot the one that we just put out, shout out to Shy. I just connected with a pretty dope videographer and we made like a cinematic ass music video. I've never been a part of something so like professional looking, so I'm really excited about that one. It just came out like yesterday. So
I like that too because I saw the snippet that you posted of it. That was fire. And like I said, like your style is just I just really like it a lot. And you don't really see like there are a lot of female MCs and like rappers and shit like that can like really rap, but like there's like very few. How do you feel about that? Like, how do you feel about? Do you think that there's like a lot of female rappers that can really rap, or like, how do you feel about that?
I think that there are definitely a lot of talented women in the world, but the issue is
On a
that,
competitive, like you being competitive though, like how do you feel? Like
well,
competitive, you if you was like
I feel like the world is already so like being a woman on the internet or being a woman in the rap game specifically is already
ten
so
times,
tough
it's hard.
that
It's hard. It's
we
hard.
see so few women stick with it. And that's the thing is I will never speak ill on a fellow woman because I know because I am on this same journey, I know you're already getting enough of it. I don't ever want to be one of those girls who's like, yeah, fuck her, she's trying to copy me. But it's like at the same time, we get like conditioned to have animosity for our fellow women. So it's like, unfortunately, I've had big falling outs with fellow female collaborators. That's been my main issue, that in my entire experience has been with my fellow woman. So it's like I don't personally feel any sort of bad blood or competitiveness. I want to be able to like reinforce that, because I mean, you look at the mainstream, women are kind of taking over right now. Like they're
That's
they're
facts. You know,
doing they're doing shit.
sexy red's taking over, bro. Like
And you got Ice Spice, and
Ice
you got Pink
Spice,
Pantheress.
Yeah,
Like
Pink
there's a lot of
Panthers, yeah,
women.
yeah, yeah,
Nicki Minaj,
yeah, yeah.
set a tone. She took a lot of hate too, and Lil Kim before her. Like it's been a battle. So
And,
it's just I don't ever want to speak ill on my fellow
yeah.
women, but I know it's hard. I know that you know it can get competitive. It can
But
get
like a
catty.
friendly, like a friendly, like competitiveness. Like when I think of like being like competitive as like an artist, I'm like, oh, bro, this person just wrote some crazy shit. Like I gotta go even
Yeah, you
crazier.
got to step your game
Yeah,
up
yeah,
for
I
sure.
gotta go crazier. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear, like somebody sends you a verse and you just hear like what they just did, and you just like, I gotta go like that's
That's
like,
my favorite shit. Yeah.
yeah, like that is like the competitiveness that like I think of, like, but also like it does get like personal, like, and I feel like this is the reason why I be forgetting that shit, because I just don't take it personal. Like I just don't. I just be like, yo, I'm just gonna do like my
Same.
shit. Like I just like, yo, I'm just gonna I'm just doing my thing, bro. Like and like you said, like create what you want to hear. Like in mine, when people like talk about content and stuff like that, I just be like, yo, just create the content that you want to see. You know what I'm saying? Like if you feel like there's not enough of what you want to see created, just create it, bro. Like you ain't
For
gotta
sure,
like
yeah.
just be like upset at like the world, or because like nothing, nobody's like creating like what you want to. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like lame, but and I do see like the even like the shit that you have like posted, like the weird like comments, like the weird like DMs and stuff like that. Like I couldn't even imagine being like a female artist like in 2023, bro. Like just because of like the out of pocket shit that like motherfuckers like just get. Like that's just crazy. Like how do you feel when you like see
Yeah.
when you see some shit like that? Like what are you like what's going through like your head? Like what's going through your mind?
Well, when it happens to me, I've kind of fucked up in this where I don't really share nearly as much as it happens to me. I kind of just I take it on the chin and move on. I'm desensitized to it because I don't know. I've like you said, I don't take it personal. My logic brain took over and I'm like, well, whatever. But sometimes, I see it happen to other people and it does happen to me, and sometimes I do like be like, "Man, look at this."
Yeah.
Because it's just it is funny. It's funny when you think about it that
It's funny,
it's
but
just
like
like, I don't know.
when I see some shit
It's
like
sad
that,
too.
I'm just like, bro, this person is weird as hell. I'm just like, this nigga's a
It's
creep.
it's
This nigga,
insane. It's
that's
insane
what I'm
to
saying.
think
Like,
that people get on the internet and it's like feel valid saying that. I get weird messages. I get the
or
weirdest
just
shit.
waking up in the morning and then just typing that
And
message to
choosing
someone.
violence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and just thinking to like type that shit. I'm like, bro, like these motherfuckers need to be investigated. Like that shit's weird, bro. Like that
And
shit's
it's
weird.
disrespectful.
Yeah, it's
It's just get
disrespectful
and
and it's weird. That shit weird.
it it sucks for me because it's just like the way that I was raised, like if I didn't grow out of that, oh, it would be bad news, cuz I have never taken well to disrespect. I get really mad and I get really crunk and I don't really care anymore. It's chill. And I hate that I can't really share the stuff that goes on without people kind of being like, "Oh, you're sensitive. Oh, whatever." So I don't really speak on it. I don't really share it. But it's just like it's crazy that people are just expected to like deal with that because it's the internet. Like, "Oh, whatever, toughen up. So what? Who cares?" Like,
No, that
"Yeah,
shit.
well,
There's some things that are funny, but there's just some things that are just like, yo, that is a
out of pocket
weird
as hell."
message.
Like,
And that's
that's
like a
yeah.
weird, like, because if
Put him
you,
on a watch list.
yeah, that's
Why did
what
he
I'm
say
saying.
that? Like,
That's like that is just something like if you said that to somebody like in person, you would get the cops called on you.
for
You would get
real. It's
the
just
you would get the cops like if you could literally get the cops called on you. That's crazy. That is
yeah.
like if it was like in person, like people don't even like understand that though. Like
That's
the
what I'm saying.
person
It's
that's
two
like
different worlds.
yeah, people don't
Yeah.
and it can't comprehend in people's minds that like you can't say this in real life, right? Like Like that's like literally
Yeah.
like against like the law, but people just like hey toughen up, like nah, like that's just weird. Because even if I see guys get shit like that, like because like even as guys, like we get like weird trolls and like they like say like some
Yeah.
weird shit, and I'm just like, what happened if like we was like in person, you said this, like how crazy out of pocket this is right now, like like people don't even understand,
Yeah.
like that's just crazy, like
I'm not with the bullying. It's one thing if you got personal beef with someone and you're saying some shit, but it's like if you just pick a random person and you just for some reason don't like them and you're like, this that whatever, you're fugly, you're this that like well, shut the fuck up. Like come on, that is the wackest shit ever. Like you're not tough, you're not cool for talking shit on somebody. It's only worth anything if you're defending something. If you're
yeah,
not
yeah,
standing for anything, you're just speaking hate. You're not cool. You're not bigger. You're not like you're whack. That's whack. That's whack as hell. That's the dumbest shit ever. So it's just like I hate hate in general.
yeah,
I don't like when people are negative for no good reason. But it's the internet. Everybody can have their opinion. You know, we just gotta take it and deal with it. So,
yeah.
but
And
it's
then
not all bad.
yeah, and like that's like the thing about putting yourself out there, like on the internet, like you subject yourself to that thing, and like that's like one thing that like I came to like terms with as well. I'm like, you put yourself out there, people are gonna like say things to you. So I'm like, I am putting myself out there, so like I gotta like take the good with the bad. And there's
Yeah.
and the good really be hitting though, you know what I'm saying? When the good hits, like it be hitting, like and then like just seeing like the numbers and stuff go up, like what was it like, seeing your numbers, because obviously everybody starts from like zero. So like, what was it like, starting from zero to being where you're at right now?
Unfortunately, I have this mindset where nothing is ever enough for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so committed to the grind that each time I reach a new milestone, like, it is the best feeling ever for like a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, I should be further ahead in this. I gotta work harder. I'm not doing enough. I'm being lazy.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I'm probably not being lazy, but because I'm so like focused and this is literally the only thing I care about, I'm like, I'm only conscious of what I could be doing more of.
Mm-hmm.
So I unfortunately am kind of negative when it comes to my own output. I'm like, that's why I'm trying to do a music video every week because I'm like, I'm not doing enough. I should be doing so much more.
Yeah.
But it's just I don't know. I'm always and that's the thing when you set aspirations like that, when you get them, you're always a lot of people you're always gonna like want more. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're never gonna really be satisfied. But I'm
Yeah.
grateful and it's great to accomplish these things and I feel so grateful for them because I know
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's not a guarantee, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Cause like
I
not a
only
lot of
see
people,
forward.
cause like not a lot of people have seen 100,000 plays or 50,000 plays or whatever, like on a song like that, like 50K, like listens or having like this much amount of like monthly like listeners and shit like
That's a
that.
lot of people.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
lot. It's a lot
you
of
can't take that for granted. It's a
yeah,
lot.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
Like and then like cause like like you just like sitting there just thinking like damn, like I was at zero. Now I'm here. I know I can get to here. So like I see where your thinking is going. I
Yeah.
know I can get to here. How can I get up
Yeah.
to here? How can I get up to there? And sometimes like it's definitely like hard to like enjoy the journey. Of
Yeah.
like doing like
I'm
this
so
thing.
focused on the future. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like I definitely do like give myself time to like be grateful for what happens as it happens, but at the same time it's just like you kind of get to that point because you're so focused on the goal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I don't know. It's a little bit depressing when you have that grind mindset, but at the same time it's like it gives you purpose. So I don't know. Once you get that 1,000, you're like, all right, that means I could get 10,000. If I've proven I can get 10,000, I can get 100,000. I've proven
Mm-hmm.
this. Let me try to get a mill. Like, it's just like it snowballs.
Yeah, it just
It
keeps on
just
going and going, and
yeah.
and that's where like the irritation, like becoming like irritated, like comes in as well. You get like
Yeah.
you're grumpy. Like I feel like, do you ever feel like do you ever feel irritated or like on edge a lot of the times?
Unfortunately, I do sometimes get frustrated because I feel like, I literally wake up every day and music is the only thing I care about.
Mm-hmm.
I have sacrificed close relationships. I've watched stuff like play out badly because my priorities have been on music. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
like I'm just sitting here getting lucky every day. It's been a lot of sacrifices. So sometimes you're like, "Damn, I've lost so much. Shouldn't I have more to show for it?" But at the same time, you got so much. You should be grateful, but the human condition, you're
Mm-hmm.
always going to be conscious of what you don't have. It's just, you know,
Mm-hmm.
if you want more, you're always going to want more. It just it repeats. The cycle always continues.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you on that. What's your favorite feature?
That I've gotten from somebody or that I've given?
Both.
Fuck. Man, I don't know. I do so much music. I probably have about 150 features that I've done for people,
That's
but
crazy.
yeah, I don't really, well, my favorite like feature slash collab that I've done is probably like the stuff I do with APOC because I've known him for so long and it's just like it feels good to work with your friends. When I flew out to Vegas and did that music video with Vicious Vampira, that was pretty lit.
That's fire.
Um, yeah, songs like that where you can't really tell whose song it is you just kind of both come together. That's my favorite shit. And I love to work with my close friends and stuff, so really that.
Well, when you started making music, what was the scene like where you were living? What was the music scene like?
I don't know, I never left the house.
Mm,
I used to be shy as hell, the most introverted ever. I've changed a lot in the past like 4 or 5 years. But I was not, I mean, it was the pandemic. I didn't know what the scene was like, but I'm assuming it was similar to now where it's like in Houston specifically, it's like EDM. Like it's a lot of EDM stuff. You get like the punk shows and stuff, but the hip hop scene, it's like there's not a lot of like I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really as tapped in with the underground in Houston that
is it
as I want to
like
be.
do you feel like there's a fan base for it in Texas? Or where in
That
your area, your city?
I mean, there definitely has to be. I think that there's just certain cities and states that are hard to like do shows with. I think a lot of the big cities are kind of hit or miss. Like especially in the South, you got to really be doing something for people to want to pull up to a show for you. Uh and I spent a fair bit of time in Dallas, and Dallas was pretty poppin', but it was like with that alt rap stuff, like the more like almost like rock rap kind of alternative rap stuff, and I don't really consider myself in that genre. I've dabbled, but I feel much more like on like the chill kind of rap tip and like R&B, and I don't know where that is. I don't know, like, but I get love. I go to shows and people fuck with me. It's just I don't see like set lists full of people doing similar stuff. It's very like,
It's hard to tell where the market is for it.
yeah. I mean, my some of my top cities are all in Texas, so it's like they definitely are listening here. It's just I don't know, show culture has changed so much, especially after the pandemic. I think people have gotten used to just like preferring to consume online. So it's hard to know where the pockets are for certain genres. And I'm still like figuring it out and tapping in. I'm trying to get out of the house more and like do shows. But every show I've done, it's been amazing. I've met awesome people and it's a good vibe. But I don't feel fit to speak so much on like the show stuff and like the local scene because I'm still trying to get into it, you know.
So like you never like went to like music festivals or anything like that, like any of those. You gotta go to a music festival. You gotta go to
Expensive. It's the pockets. That's the only reason I
yeah.
haven't gone. I've only been to so many shows because of back in the day because of that, because of the money issue.
Yeah. I was gonna say you have to experience a music festival. Like it's like an
Yeah, for
experience
sure.
where like I remember when like my first one, like that shit was insane. Like seeing like all these people like enjoy music like at once, like it's crazy. It's a whole like it's a whole other like experience. But have you ever if you could do a music festival, which ones would you do? Like like the Rolling Louds or like the Lollapaloozas, like which ones like have you ever like thought of like that at all? If you
I would
could,
do I would do every single one just to see what feels the best.
yeah,
Like I would do anything. I'm very much into experiences, but Rolling Loud would be cool because I've there's been a lot of Rolling Loud lineups that I've been like, damn, I wish I could go to that, you know?
yeah.
A lot of the California festivals look pretty lit. There's some festivals in Dallas and in Texas in general that I would love to be a part of. There's lots of cool stuff happening. It's just, you got to travel, you know.
Yeah. Would do you ever like plan on moving for music, like moving to like California, New York, or like any like area where like Atlanta, like where music is like a big like commodity out there?
I definitely would. Like I said, I was living in like close to Dallas for a while there. I was born in Houston, and Houston's, a big city for music in general. but I would definitely move just to sort of experience different
Hmm.
stuff. And I've never been to Cali. I haven't been yet. But I would live anywhere for like a year just to like see what
See,
that's
yeah,
like and
just
just
to see where it goes.
absorb that. Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely.
Yeah, like, and I feel like it's always like a bridge where some people have to like cross um at some point, because a lot of like artists that like I've like followed, like even like Lil Peep, like he came from New York to Colorado to California, and like people always end up moving. So like I'm always like curious about that, or like people's like thought processes on like, do I move, when do I move, or if I move,
Yeah,
like it's
I,
just.
I feel like
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I feel like that like this whole idea that oh you got to move to like California or New York to pop
Hmm.
off. It's kind of like people still think that, but I feel like really nowadays it's like
Not even the case anymore.
I mean, it definitely that you could still do it that way. And I know like back in the day, the way you blew up is through doing shows and building yourself locally and all that. But with the internet, so much has changed, and that's why like even labels don't know how to keep up because nowadays you got a million people trying to make it work on TikTok because they've
Hmm.
seen what TikTok can do for people. But you can blow up out of Canada, you can blow up out of Ohio. Like it now it
Hmm.
really just there's like a million ways to do it that like you shouldn't necessarily feel pressure to move anywhere because you could move out there and still not really know what to do with it. It's
Hmm.
just you just gotta do what your soul feels called to do, I think, because I don't know. I'll either end up moving somewhere, maybe I'll move to Cali, or maybe I'll figure out the TikTok algorithm, or maybe I'll go viral on YouTube. Like, there's just a million ways it could happen. Like,
Yeah, like the internet has really like opened up like the space to be seen by everybody.
for
Like,
sure.
and there's been way more people like that blew up like in like their hometowns as well, and like just because of the internet. And people in your hometown won't even know that you blew up as well, because they don't even be tapped in. Like, what I'm saying, this is a whole other like subculture,
For sure.
that a lot of people don't even know about, and that are clueless about as well. Because like you can't even really have. Do you think that you can have a conversation with the average person about, the underground scene and also mainstream music, a little bit of mainstream music, and like, like artists that are like teeter tottering between underground and mainstream? Do you think that you can have a conversation about music with the average person right now?
I don't really know what the average person is. I feel like my perception's so skewed. Like
Oh,
nowadays, like, if people consider Suicide Boys still underground, is Freddie Dredd still underground? Because I feel like because of TikTok and stuff, like people get so much reach, and
mm-hmm,
we still hate TikTok, whatever, like it's still a complicated subject,
mm-hmm,
but you go to a college or you go out to the grocery store, you have a conversation with somebody, you never know what they know. It's just
mm-hmm.
like where is the line for underground? Like what? Like I'm still shocked when I meet people who like I tell them I make music, they're like wait a minute. And then, oh, they have a song of mine in their playlist. That shit blows my mind. You never know who's listening to what. And that's
Yeah,
happened to
yeah.
me more than a handful of times. And every time I'm like, that's fucking crazy. Because I'm not even, like, I don't even know if I'm at a place enough to be considered underground or if I'm just some girl on the internet. Like, I don't know how you measure that shit. I don't know. Like,
It's very,
everything is
yeah.
crazy, you know?
Yeah, like after like I said, like you said as well, the pandemic, it changed a lot. Like, you don't know who's, cuz like I said, like there's people that are of
Yeah.
nepotism in the underground that nobody knows or understands. There's and then there's artists that were underground, but they're signed to like major labels, and like they
Yeah.
still say that, like, that they're
Yeah.
but they still have like the underground
Like, when does
image.
it stop being
Hmm.
underground? Is what
That's
I
what
like. When does it start or when does it stop? Like, are
yeah.
you underground when you just start, and are you still underground when you got a million plays? Like, where is the line? I just don't
Yeah,
even know
yeah.
anymore.
Like that's like the like it's hard to like measure that now. Like, and I feel like people can only measure it by success. I consider, if you're assigned to a if you are like, there are some artists that are signed to artists that were underground, but they're signed to a major label. Yeah, they're signed to a major label, but they can't. They obviously have like the big shows, but their market is only for them. Like they can't really. It's hard for them to like branch out into other markets unless they do a song with another artist that's signed to like that major label. That's like a little bit more commercial. So like I don't know. It's like I said, it's hard to like gauge whether or not if
Yeah,
because they still have underground fan bases. Like that's the thing. Like their fan base, I don't think that their fan base reflects. A lot of artists that are signed, to underground labels. I don't think that their fan base reflects mainstream. Like it doesn't look like a mainstream like audience. Cause like,
definitely.
yeah, yeah. So it's definitely hard to like gauge. What do you have like coming out like next for yourself with music videos, or just like internet shit in general? Like what you got like, or even like live shows? Like what you got like coming next?
I got a show next weekend in Dallas. I've
Fire.
been posting it about it on the internet, but I mean, besides that, I never really have anything to promote besides the fact that I make a song every week, every Friday. I'm I'm probably doing like a new music video every week, so just I make a lot of new stuff. That's all I got to that's all I ever have to push is the fact that I'm out here. I'm consistent. I'm posting a lot.
Hell yeah.
You'll always have new shit to consume when it comes to me, so.
Hell yeah. Anything else that you wanna promote? Twitter, YouTube, Instagram.
Any platform that exists, if I'm on it as jupiluxe. So if that's, you know, you can find me on anything. If I'm on it, it's jupiluxe, and I'll be there. I'll be doing the deal.
All right, bet. There's one more question that I want to ask you. What like do you are there certain things that you'll like watch or like what's like a ritual for you to like get ready to like write music or get inspired by like what things like inspire you?
Uh, the thing is, I'm never not inspired. I like pretty much wake up ready to say some shit. I kind of like cultivated this sort of flow state that at this point I'm just always in it. I get inspired by the things I experience, like the emotions I feel and the situations I find myself in. But 9 times out of 10, the minute I hear a beat, if it connects with me, words just happen. I don't really like, there's not like content I can consume, but I used to like watch like documentaries about different artists and what they did and sort of like step into like their personality and their lore, and that would inspire me to just see other creatives being creative. um but yeah, I don't know, I watch anime, I watch cartoons, I watch all kinds of stuff. Like I consume media, but anything I create is just it's a very short path between me and it being created. I'm like it's just I'm always on go, I'm always just like ready to go. I don't know. It's all I care about. It's all I do. It's all I know how to do. It's just where I'm at. I don't know.
Was there ever anything that had like an impact on you creatively that you ever like watched or like seen or heard or listened to?
Um, as far as media, not especially. I mean, I've watched a YouTube Mac Miller documentary and the Little Peep documentary, even though it's kind of controversial. It did, inspire me a fair bit, and just like I don't know, a lot of YouTube stuff, and yeah, outside of media, the reason I make music is because I got my heart broken. And like
Mm,
literally, like it's just emotion is the most inspiring thing in the world. Is like that kind of stuff. So
hell yeah. Well, this is the Scotty Show. Jupilex, thank you. I appreciate you for pulling up. This was a great conversation. I appreciate you for real.
yeah,
This is
thank you
dope.
for having me.
This is the Scotty Show. Jupilex, thank you. Hey.